everyone, today I'll be reviewing this movie. It is on Netflix. It's called The Cattolica School, and this movie, it is from Italy, and this movie is based on a true event. And in this movie you see in 1975 three students from this Catholic school, like it's an all boys Catholic school, they commit this heinous crime that it shocked their whole community and everyone's around them, and later in their life what they become. This movie also tells you about it. So what do I think about this movie? I thought this movie was whoa, it was quite a watch. This movie does have a lot of disturbing scene and a lot of like scene when you watch it, you are like, oh, it's really your edge of your seat. But I do think this movie did started out a little slow, but I see what was the director he was going for. He wanted to tell us about how these three people's crime really, literally, that is what this movie is about, how it affected the whole community. This movie starts with like, you see how all these students, they were like attending this Catholic school over there, and how it was at a school, how it is in any high school. There is a bully, there is this thing, and you try to hook up with someone. All the story, everything, all high school story drama is here. But when you watch it, you do feel like this movie was made in that era. So I really like the way this movie was shot, production design. Definitely really good. Although this movie does have time jump, like a lot. There's a lot of time jump back and forth. Sometimes it does takes you out of that moment because you think, oh, I'm gonna know more about this character I'm watching. Boom, it time jump happened, like it goes back in 5 months, then it goes like jump back into 3 months. Something it did bother me because I wanted to know more about the character I was watching in them. Because honestly, all the character in this movie, they were all very complicated people, and they all had a backstory, and their family were complicated. A lot of stuff this movie happened, and I was like, oh. Maybe some of the stuff little I didn't buy it because it took place in that time frame. Maybe then again, I don't know how it was back then. That being said, yeah, this movie, it is like the last act for this movie. It is so, oh my god, so disturbing. When I was watching it, I was like, oh, so inhuman. Then again, end of this movie, everything do come together. I do think this movie definitely worth a watch. But it's not going to be for everyone, because at the end of the day, this movie, it is very depressing movie. But the like entertaining type depressing. You learn more about all this student. Three of them are really monster, and I guess one of them, he died later on. But the one of the real monster, I guess he did. Little spoiler here, like he did kill more women later of his life. So this movie based on true story. The only thing I will say, although it is based on this event, like this movie talks about, but this movie is never about that massacre took place. It's always about this community people, because you do spend a lot of your time with that community. So don't go expect in this movie it's gonna show you that massacre or anything like that. Because I don't know which massacre this movie like all these people are talking about, because I didn't see that. I only saw spoiler about this movie, like huge spoiler. Like this three boys, he kidnapped this 2 girls, which is not a massacre. But I don't know. Like by watching this movie, I thought this movie was never about that. It's always been about how these 3 kids, like where they came from, and the community, and how they were growing up. It didn't imply, I guess, how it affected them, because these 3 kids, they are like comes from privileged family. Like when you watch them, or this, because this Catholic school, everyone there is like upper class. Some of them are middle class, but most of them are upper class students, and you do see they get bullied and here and there. This movie, yeah, it tried to show you a lot of stuff, but I think end of the day, did this movie, it really achieved what it was going for. That was I thought about this movie, and I thought it was like it's really slow at first, but it does picks up middle and third act. The third act is really like it was really sad how it's still a depressing movie. I'm not saying it's a very entertaining movie, but I definitely think it's worth checking. And that was my thought on this movie. Let me know in the comment what do you think about this movie, and if you enjoyed this review, don't forget to check my other reviews on other Italian movie. If you enjoy this, please subscribe, and until I see you next time, please take care.